The monk and the busy town. In a bustling town at the foot of the mountains, people were always in a hurry. The streets were filled with merchants selling their goods, children rushing to school, and people hurrying to finish their work. The townspeople were always busy, caught in a whirlwind of tasks, worries, and obligations. Despite the abundance of food, wealth, and resources, there was a sense of unease and exhaustion in the air. The people seemed to be constantly moving, but somehow, they never felt truly at peace. One day, a monk from a nearby monastery arrived in the town. He was dressed simply in robes, and he walked with a calm, steady pace. The townspeople barely noticed him at first, too absorbed in their daily tasks. However, the monk's presence was different. It was as though he radiated a quiet sense of peace that slowly began to catch the attention of those around him. As the days passed, the monk wandered through the town, quietly observing the people. He noticed how they rushed from one task to the next, often without pausing to enjoy the moment. People walked with their heads down, eyes glued to the ground, their minds racing ahead to the next thing they had to do. The monk saw how their hurried lives caused them stress, frustration, and even conflict, and he knew that something needed to change. One afternoon, the monk gathered a small group of townspeople in the town square. He stood calmly before them, his voice gentle yet clear. "I have observed your lives over the past few days," he said. "You are all busy, moving from task to task, but I sense that you are not truly living in the moment. Your minds are filled with thoughts of what must be done next, and you are missing the peace that can be found right here, in the present." The townspeople listened, intrigued but skeptical. One of the merchants spoke up, "Monk, we must be busy. There is so much to do. We have to earn our living, take care of our families, and make sure our businesses succeed. If we don't keep moving, we will fall behind." The monk nodded understandingly but replied, "I do not ask you to stop your work. I ask only that you bring mindfulness to what you do. Whether you are working, talking, or walking, try to focus fully on the task at hand. Don't let your mind race ahead to what is next. Be present with your actions, and you will find that even the busiest work can be done with peace and clarity." The townspeople were curious but unsure how this could be possible. "How can we focus on the present moment when there is so much to think about?" asked a woman from the crowd. The monk smiled gently. "Start with small steps. As you go about your day, take a moment to pause, breathe, and observe what you are doing. If you are sweeping the floor, feel the motion of the broom in your hand, listen to the sound of the bristles, and notice the dust being lifted. When you are talking with someone, truly listen to them, not just to respond, but to understand. When you are walking, feel your feet on the ground, and notice the sights, sounds, and smells around you." He continued, "Mindfulness is not about changing what you do, it is about how you do it. It is about being fully present in the moment, whatever that moment may be. This is the key to peace." The townspeople were skeptical but willing to try. The monk encouraged them to practice mindfulness in their everyday routines. The next morning, as the sun rose, the town came alive with activity. Merchants set up their stalls, children rushed to school, and workers began their tasks. But this time, something was different. Here and there, people began to slow down, breathe deeply, and bring their attention fully to what they were doing. One merchant, who had always rushed through his sales, began to notice the colors of the fruits and vegetables he was selling. Instead of thinking about the next customer, he focused on the conversation he was having with each person, truly listening and making eye contact. As he did, he noticed that his customers felt more at ease, and the transactions felt more genuine. A mother who had been constantly multitasking stopped for a moment while feeding her child. She focused on the feeling of her child's tiny hand holding hers, the sound of the child's laughter, and the warmth of the sunlight coming through the window. In that moment, she felt connected to her child in a way she had never felt before. As the days passed, more and more people in the town began to practice mindfulness. The town, once filled with frantic energy, now had a calm rhythm. People still worked hard, but they did so with greater focus and less stress. They began to notice the beauty in the small things, the sound of the wind rustling the leaves, the aroma of fresh bread baking, the feel of a loved one's embrace. One evening, the monk returned to the town square, where a large group had gathered to thank him. The merchant who had spoken to the monk earlier approached him with a smile. "You were right, monk. By focusing on the present moment, I find that my work feels lighter, and I am more at peace. I no longer feel burdened by the future. I can give my full attention to each person I serve, and it feels much more fulfilling." The monk smiled warmly. The future will always be there, but the present is where life truly happens. When we live fully in the moment, we experience life more deeply and find a greater sense of peace, no matter how busy our days may be. The townspeople thanked the monk, and as he left, they continued to practice mindfulness in their daily routines. The town, once overwhelmed by the rush of daily life, had learned the secret to peace. By focusing on the present, they had found joy and contentment in their work, relationships, and daily activities. Moral of the story: mindfulness is not about stopping work or slowing down, it is about fully engaging with the present moment in everything you do. When we stop rushing and become more aware of the task at hand, we can find peace and fulfillment, even in the busiest of lives. By being present, we open ourselves to the beauty and serenity that already exist in the world around us. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more valuable content like this. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.